Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of Super Sunday here on Apex Racing TV. It's time for the SRF Weekend Warriors to take to the track. A part of this doubleheader here from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. I'm Tim Cox. Charles Michelle as always be joining me very shortly. Josh Wilkie in the virtual production trailer. Let's take a little look through the championship standings before we get stuck into the meat and potatoes of today. In the penultimate round of the championship. As we head into it, it is Jason Green who's leading Spec 1, 31 points ahead of Dudu Castro. Andrea Favini on for his best ever finish of the championship. Can he cement that one? He lies in third, but he's part of the equation, that championship fight. Some 113 points behind Castro alone. Claudio Gardini, he looked like he was going to be in the fight, but now it looks like third is the best that he can achieve. But also Evandro Dantas, who lies in fifth, is still within the shout. McCain's starting to get a little bit of drift now in sixth, with Kabanka, West, Wood and Perry rounding up the top 10 there. Cross now into Spec 2, and well, this has been all down to Trenton Kramer up until last week. But Paul Jackson has taken the helm and he leads heading into this penultimate round of the championship by a solitary 3 points over Kramer. Phil Berry, he's on for a really solid third place. A couple of solid results from him and other results going his way. He is still in half a shout of taking the championship here in Spec 2. Sean Vincent, well, he's just a little bit cut away now on 317 points. Somewhat 63 behind our leader Jackson. Paolo Brame, he's in 5th on 293, only 1 point ahead of Caleb Pocock in 6th, with Healy, Justice, Baglini and Yusovic running out of his top 10. Cross now into Masters, and well, just like in the Formula 4s, this one has been dominated this season by Jorg Mani. He leads on 6-4-8 ahead of Chris Murakami in 2nd, who's on 461. That is nearly 200 points difference. I don't think I've ever seen such a dominant display here in the Weekend Warriors, and a real record-breaking season for the Swiss driver, in which sees him that he's never won. He's won every race bar one. It's a motorsport when Tony Race run out our winner. No, just in the Formula Fords, isn't it? But it's pretty much as dominant as that anyway. There we go. It is just one race. It was Belle Isle only a few weeks ago, which Marnie finished a casual second place. Murakami, he is second in class, as we mentioned. He is well ahead of Tom Gradwell, with his fellow countryman Brad Cathcart still in a chance of nicking it away from Gradwell right at the depth here as we head into the business rounds of the championship. Antonio Race could still disrupt it, but on 345 points, it's starting to look a little bit cut adrift. He is only, some 13 points ahead of Bradshaw in 7th with Thorpe, Brewster and Gary Walbolt rounding out the top 10 there. Charles Michel, welcome along to the show, the ride, the excitement, the drama. We had a big grid earlier on for the Formula 4s, but that has been eclipsed by this one. We are looking at a potential over 50 runners and riders in this one.
Well, thank you, Tim. It's always good to do these broadcasts. Love doing the Weekend Warriors. And 50-car grid, it's just standard for the spec racer on Sundays. So obviously, we had a pretty good race. Not really chaotic race, but we had a good race that was decided by pit strategy in the Formula 4s. This race tends to be a bit tighter across the field because of A, the number of cars, and B, because these cars draft so well. So some of these straights are going to be, where they make up a tenth or two on the shorter straights and maybe a half second going down that big long front straight over the hill and down into the Andretti hairpin, turns 1 and 2. So, just looking forward to seeing some more exciting racing and seeing how these spec racers are going to do on this track.
Likewise, Charles, likewise. Talking about the grid, well, look who's back. Back again, it is Marco Panero.
Whoa.
Well, that's going to kill off any improvement on that final lap.
Somebody said welcome back to Marco.
Yes, back with a bang, literally and metaphorically, I believe there. Now, who else have we got in key positions? So Marnie leads Masters qualifying. I mean, hardly surprising to mention, just won every single round, and that one round that he didn't win, as I said about Belle Isle, some 4 weeks ago now, he finished second there. I mean, that's clinical. It's exactly the same in the Formula 4s. Someone who's in a massive rich vein of form. Spec 2 is Trenton Kramer leading the way there. Again, someone who's in a real dominant rich vein of form. However, he's also in Spec 2 the only driver to have won more than one round. Bit of a mouthful there this season. Doing so at Road America and Mosport.
Two very, very, it's an odd combination when we're talking about tracks. Those are pretty not similar at all.
I looked at the wrong line. It's Oran Park and Road America. So
it's even worse.
Reinforces your point even more so. Chalk and cheese if you ever got that, and Laguna Seca could be argued as somewhere a bit of a middle ground between the pair of them. So could he almost complete the set in terms of differing track types tonight?
I think that's absolutely an apt comparison. I think that this is a good combination of the long straightaways, for drafting, and then some very technical corners. Obviously, the elevation here is quite immense, and we'll talk about this, and we'll mention the obligatory mention of the 5-story drop that is the corkscrew, and 50 feet down through a chicane is always it's always a bit of a challenge. We've got our own version of the kink here, similar to Road America. That's basically a 1-lane corner that you got to be pretty precise. You miss the apex on the outside, you're off in the gravel. You miss the apex on the inside, catch that inside curb, and you might be wrecked because that curb will destroy your car if you let it. So it's going to be a fun race. These guys always put on a good show. It is good to see Marco back. Marco is obviously going to be, anytime he comes into the spec racer races, he's going to be near the top of the board because he's just that good of a driver in this car. But yeah, Jorg Monty seems to be having a very Marco Pinero-like season this season, and just has been pretty dominant in the Masters class.
And as always, qualifying, it's always dominated by the Brazilians. Again, here today, 3 Brazilians inside the top 8 in the form of Castro, Dantas, and Sabino. I mean, 2 of the top 3, in fact, if you want to go even that more definitive. And even then, of all the Brazilians in the field, which we have got 2, 4, 6, 7 of them, the lowest is Felipe Bertaniv, who is 22nd. A third of that top 22 as Carlos Barreto just improves there to make it another, that's 4 inside the top 9 now. You could get much more domination from a single country than that, really. I mean, the closest you get is 2 Brits in the top 11 in form of Perry in 7th and West in 11th.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, the Brazilian seems like they really like these single make races, and obviously these guys, we've seen Castro and Dantas for many seasons, and Tobito for several seasons now. Castro just seemed like he was snake bit there for a long time, but's having a fantastic season this season. Won a couple of races, and so yeah, it's always fun to see these guys up front. They will battle hard, and they will always try and push the car to the limit. Sometimes they'll, may make a mistake or maybe mess up some fuel strategy, but they're always going to be, one of them's always up near the front challenging for a win.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Cabank running a bit of an improving lap. Green's in sectors 2, 3, and 4, just coming out of sector 5 now, and does improve in terms of his time, but remains 13th. There is Jason Green, of course, championship leader in Spec 1, no less. Looking like he's going to start second round of the grid as checkered flag is 10 seconds away from us. God, I will get my words out eventually here today. In the sessions, because drivers can complete their laps for finding they've started them before now when the checkered flag is out. So we're going to see potentially some improvements out there. Plus Barreto looking like he's on a quick one, just gone fastest in sector 2. There is one of the Brazilians, no less. And also, plenty of personal bets still being set here, which is a bit odd. It's flipped on its head qualifying. We've spoken about this season, whereby it was pretty much done and dusted by the time we got in here and rocked up and been through the championship points. Now it seems to come right down to the depth.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody just kind of wait to those last couple of laps to get some good heat in the tires and find them a good partner they can maybe get a draft off of. And so lots of position changes in that last couple of minutes, and then sometimes even a little after the checkers already dropped. So those last laps seem to shake the order up a bit this season.
Just waiting for the last few people to come around. Not seeing too many major improvements from people that are out on the track. Stephen Healy on a good lap, currently 46. Personal best in sectors 2, 3, and 4, about to cross the line. There he is. We'll get stuck into the weather here, because I did play a little bit of the part proceedings earlier on in the Formula Fords. They get 86 Fahrenheit track temperature. So definitely on the warmer side of toasty. Let's see what Healy does as he crosses the line. Personal best in the final sector, but he's still good enough to remain 46th. So yeah, 86, Charles, that's warmer than what we had earlier on. I mean, what's that?
So it's actually just a little bit cooler than what we had the first race.
It is.
So yeah,
You're right.
By 1 degree Celsius, 2 degrees
Correct.
Fahrenheit, something like that. So
Yep.
So but still, we talked about this before. So the pluses and minuses to that extra track temp is the tires get warm up a bit faster, get some heat in them, so you're a little more stable earlier during the race. But then you kind of lose a little bit from some added tire wear, which didn't seem like it was much of a problem, but maybe the track a little slicker than what they were used to dealing with, during the official sessions during the week. and just that we didn't see any big major calamity in the first race, but we did see a lot of little single car spins. So we'll see if that continues.
I mean, we did have just under half the size of the grid earlier on. I mean, was it 32 we had starts?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
yep.
We're looking like an extra 20 cars potentially here today. This is how they're going to line up. Marco Pinero on pole, Dudu Castro back at the front with him. That is going to be fireworks, that is for sure. Castro's fellow countryman Dantas, that's much behind him. Third position on row 2 with Jason Green. There's a Les Plaver and another Brazilian in the form of Carlos Barreto. Atelier Race and Jason Perry make up the first row on the grid that does not feature a Brazilian. Row 4, and also Grace being the top qualifier in Masters. Marnie and Tabino are going to round out your top 10, and row 5, while row 6 is Chris Murakami and Bobby West. Row 7, Christian Kabanka and Jim Brewster, while Amose Pellegrini and Daniel Wood make up a Latin American flavoured row 8. Row 9 is Flavio Andalo and Trenton Kramer, with your top 20 being rounded out by Philip Berry and Adam Bradshaw. Also mentioned Trenton Kramer, top qualifier in Spec 2. Chris Montgomery and Felipe Spitrinev round out row 11, while row 12 is Claudio Gardini and Arnis Jusovic. Pavini and McCain are on row 13, while row 14 is Scott Russell and Hugh Simpkins. Jeff Jason and Josh Justice are going to round out your top 30 in row 15. Row 16, that's Paul Jackson, your championship leader in Spec 2 coming into this penultimate round. So he's going to have a bit of work to do to come through the field and try and displace Kramer for top honours. He starts next to fellow countryman Chris Ford. Charlie Vaccaro and Brad Cathcart are on row 17, while row 18 is Sean Vincent and Tom Gradwell, two American-Australian rows in a row there. Hello Bray and Robert Emerson are on row 19, while row 20 in the top 30 sees Tarantino and Bradford Gould next to each other. Canters joined by Love the Company on 21, 22, Varanic and Payne, Warbolt and Stephen Healy take you up to 46th place. Row, I've lost count. What are we up to now? 24. Yeah, thank you. We're 24, something like that. You'd think I'd learn all these years, wouldn't you? Russ Telka and Bob Kern. There we go. And there's your field rounding out your top 50. Michelle Baglini and Gianni Longin, the Italian row. Longin, the first driver not to set a lap time. Jeff Horniak and Michael Nelson will mark your last row of the grid, row 26. However, Nelson has not taken to the grid, so like we've just got just the 51. Just the 51.
Know, yeah,
you know. Just average stuff, really, isn't it?
It really is.
You know. Good news, we've got coming up in a couple of weeks' time on the channel the runoffs. Week 13 special, as always. I can tell you from speaking to series organizer Stevie Ray, it's going to be something special to mark the 40th anniversary, 10 years, no less, of the Weekend Warriors runoffs. Make sure you tune into that one. That'll be live and exclusive here on Apex Racing TV. And I can tell you that it'll be the Fords and the Formula Fords and the Spec Racer Fords. And there's going to be something, a few interesting bits, to say the least, with that. So well worth
for sure
checking that one out.
Yeah, that'll be well worth a watch, I guarantee it.
We know you'll find out in due course, don't you worry, viewers, but not too far away now. Of course, the full pace lap, always handy for us on these shorter circuits with such large grids to get through them. But I tell you, there you go. Porsche 911 safety car just darting in there.
Taking the Grosjean line into the pits.
Aggressive as always. Late dart. Panero controls the pace. Let's get ready to go racing from Laguna Seca as we are green and we are away. A Panero, the fastest to react. Castro caught napping a little bit and it's bold-necked up behind him. They're 3 wide as they string down to the Andretti hairpin. Turn 1 proper. They're even 4 wide in the background there. Squeezing the way through, almost a bit of a 5 wide. But they're all going to make it through, or are they? As we ride on board with Trenton Kramer, the 444, hanging things around the outside, keeping out of trouble and trying to really cement things in that Spec 2 championship for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a clean start. Everybody got off the line. We started to do some shuffling now as they're still side by side. Oh,
wow.
Yep, say that, and then there you go. So, oh, who is that?
Triniv involved in that one. There's still bodywork going flying. There's a great bonnet. Yeah, the Brazilian is towed to the pit. Scott Russell, Chris Montgomery, Josh Justice all caught up in that one.
Oh, wow.
But there's some big gainers, Charles. Hugo Veranek, he's up 10. Paolo Brain, he's up 11, no less. And he hasn't even done half a lap.
Yeah, it's a good start. Oh, as we see Panero going really deep into there, into the corkscrew.
Maybe just, you know, just dusting off the cobwebs for the Italian. Back in the championship, you bet your top dollar he'll be back next season as the rear end of the field just making their way through now. A few bruised and battered cars in that little group there. There's, well, a bit of a tussle here. Montgomery trying to come back through, but the leaders round the final corner for the first time. Panero in quite a bit of trouble. You spotted him slump the corner there, Charles. And here comes Dudu Castro, which surely is going to be for the lead. Down into the Andretti hairpin. Well, in fact, he's going to do it sooner, but no, the beautiful switchback. Oh, Marco Panero.
Oh, no, contact.
And come to blows once again, these two.
Yeah, he knew that Castro had the run going down the straight. Got by and decided he was going to try and make a move to the inside going into the hairpin. Contact was made. They both managed to keep the car on track, but lost quite a bit of time up front.
Here we go. It's replay time. Let's find out what happened in this incident at the start, isn't it? It's already happening. Oh, it's already happened. This is on board with Robert Emerson trying to pick his way through. Left, right, left. Is there a gap? Oh, Josh Justice on the outside there, taking a bit of further damage. Whoa.
Yeah, just get another shot here. It just looked the 52 car just got loose on the inside and kind of had to open the corner up a little bit, open his hands up a little bit off the wheel, and made contact and started that chain reaction.
Oh yeah, that's what's kicked it off, isn't it? Absolutely spot on. And Chris Montgomery, just the instant bystander, collected, and that's what started off the biggest symphony of chaos there.
Back to live action here.
Tony Arrays going for the move on. Let's play, but a long way round the outside. Panero just having to defend now from Carlos Barreto, who's making his life an absolute misery at trying to cement a Brazilian lockout of the top three. So this is how Dantas got on by. Of course, we saw the initial I thought Panero was going to pull off the brilliant fake and the switchback of the century there.
Yeah, it looked like he just maybe got too deep in and the front of the car just pushed on him a little bit. Caused the contact, and
Barretto's
they both had
off.
to check it up. Is Barretto? Is that Panero off?
Panero. Yeah, Barretto, I saw him tumbling down. Of course, he was battling with Panero.
He was.
Barretto still...
I think that's going to be an interesting replay when we get it from Josh.
It is. Barretto's fallen all the way down to 45th, 46th now, possibly even further, so I think he may well be stationing out on track. So this is how it all unfolded. So does he get... He's being pushed. Okay, so the dart to the inside there. Oh, they make contact.
Okay, that's interesting. It looked like, I don't think maybe Panero maybe checked up a little bit because he was wide on the edge of the corner, but moved to the right side and then came over maybe to try and block. And yeah, I just don't think Panero caught him, saw him coming up beside him and was maybe moving over. So I won't attribute anything to malice there, just some heavy contact in both cars down the order.
Tony Race has dropped down a fair few places. He's down to 17th now. So that means your leader, a bit of sit rep here, is that York Marnie leads Masters. He's 7th overall. Trenton Craven still holding on to that Spec 2 lead. He's 13th overall right now. But does have Yurcevic and Berry not too far behind him. Castro is ahead of Dantas for the lead. Well, we said it was all relatively calm affair earlier on in the Formula Fords. Well, the SRS rocked up and said, hold my beer, guys, watch this.
It sure did. You're absolutely right. couldn't have said it better as an American than what you just did there, Tim. Oh, got wide coming out of that corner.
Who's that wide?
Looks like
yeah, Bobby West.
Yep, Bobby West. Yeah,
Josh catching that one.
It was a good catch by Josh. It was just, that corner is so tricky. Like I said, it's literally a one-lane corner. If you're off the apex, you're going to be wide. If you're inside too much and you catch the curb, you may be wrecked. It's just one of those that you have to be really, inch perfect every lap coming through there.
We spoke about it earlier on in the Formula Fords, didn't we? The iRacing off-track physics, we don't see anywhere near as many, mass pileups and deaths there. But the polar effect on it is now that you just lose so much time from getting caught up in that dirt.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's no grass to speak of. There's not a lot of concrete on the edges here. It's just all dirt and gravel. And so if you get off the track, you're going to lose a lot of time. But it's not a one-way ticket to the wall. So I think that's the bonus of that.
Alberto Pellegrini started 15th, now running 5th, up 10 spots. That's a brilliant start from the Brazilian.
That is a great run. And, of course, it had to be a Brazilian, right?
Of course it did.
Yeah, of course it did.
We've only got 4 of them in the top 7, Charles,
Yeah.
They've got to... So Josh has spotted something in the replays. Let's take a little look at how that all unfolded. This is sitting comfortably in 5th as well. So this is down into
the
corkscrew. So, and it's
contact. Oh, is that Murakami?
No, it was Race of West, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Race? Okay.
No, apologies. Was it Murakami? Because that looks like Antonio Race ahead of us.
Yeah, I thought it was the 901. I thought it was Murakami and West.
Well, as he drops down, Lord is praised, and he drops a couple of places. Slight mistake. Well, you could have just run slightly wide, as we've seen so far. Attempting to race into the pits, because he had a bit of a poor start, getting caught up in incidents early on. Poor. Deep breath. We've only done 8 minutes, Charles. We're only 1/5 race distance. There's producer Shocks just saying, in our ears there. Don't know where to look. There is so much going on. That is why we love the Weekend Warriors. Someone's that Fabini off. There you go. He's going to lose a ton of places for that. I mean, these big grid races are fun, but they're so brutal. You make one mistake, and you can lose 20 places in the blink of an eye.
Yes, this is, because it's such a big package, we see that just a spin. Oh, no. He just backed into traffic. I don't think he saw that car. Was trying to avoid.
I think it was just ahead of him. We got that slight issue.
Yeah, most of the cars went to the inside. One car darted to the outside, and he backed right up, and just nowhere for that car to go.
So, Marnie, talking of packs and nowhere to go, Marnie, seeming like the cork in the bottle here. He's 5th overall, but does have Tabino, Cabanca, Pellegrini. Well, World and his wife, all the way back to Bobby West in 14th. So, covering some near 10 cars here in one line. In fact, West doesn't have Bradshaw and Yurcevic too far behind him either. Wheatley don't have Phil Berry. He's only 1.2 seconds behind them, leaving a pack including McCain, Gardini, Simpkins, Plaver. So realistically, it's our top 21 through to, 5th. Pretty much nose to Dale. Jeff Jacobson into pit road here now, and wow. Where do you look? Where do we begin with that one? Our top 3 pretty close: Castro, Dantas, and Jason Green. So yes, it's really crucial time for Green as well. We need to reinforce that point. Of course, he's going for that Spec 1 championship. As this is how Castro got around Dantas.
Yeah, I did see the big crash in the background. Josh talking to us as we're trying to call this action, and we see Castro and the 32 car of Dantas going down into the Andretti hairpin.
Going back to live pictures, here we go. Just seeing them make their way down through the corkscrew. Reeves still remaining in touch. He's just on the cusp though. 9/10 behind these top two to a second. In fact, it's just dipping over a second every so often. I mean, Green had a strong race earlier on. Can't need to do it again here in the SRFs. It's all a big old blink. They haven't come back from whatever car that was on the inside. So that's for Russ Telka, who trying to keep out of everyone's way. And there's the Altabino with no front end.
Yeah, he's doing a good job to be in the what we call the modified, just kind of hanging behind Jorgmani. I guess he's just, he said, I can't really do anything. If I move out of the line, I'll probably end up just ending back where I started or losing positions. So he's just kind of tucking in and kind of keeping the nose covered up until he can get to the pit window open.
Currently, the Andreas Bertoni stroke David Gaspers award going to Hugo Veranek, who's Scani's up 21 spots into 22nd place. Being fought hard for that award, though, by Bradford Gould. There's only 2 cars in front of him in 20th, who's up 20 spots, no less, the American. There he is, just leading that little group. McCain, the meat in the sandwich there between those guys going for that award. Although Jeff Kant, he's up 18, and he's just behind Veranek. So he's, 4 cars deep into this battle. So it's Gould just leading them up the hill now. It's Gould, McCain, Veranek, Cantor, and Jackson still on the tail of this group. There's Jackson, the one needs a strong result here in terms of those Spec 2 championship aspirations.
Yeah, he definitely needs to make.
There's a car off. That's Bobby West. It's that Bobby West up in the foreground. McCain locks up nearly a half spin there as well. It's all kicking off. That was Jusovic, I think. Renault wasn't who ran it in a bit deep, but everyone just collected themselves, just remaining calm. It was Hugh Simpkins, I think, who just had that slight sideways moment there. As Gardini now into the pits.
Yeah, the corkscrew seems to be giving people a bit of trouble today. We see it as we get the replay here for McCain, as we see them side by side coming down. Just it's so hard to go too wide through there. You see them just basically they get up there, they just run out of room. There's no real line for them to go, and so kind of reset and take the off track and see if they can start moving back forward again.
And it was Gardini who was the car who had the slight moment. Oh, too much mustard on that steak sandwich. And there we go. Round he goes. And that was the spin. It was not West.
Yeah. So fortunately, no contact made. So it's like they're coming in, they're taking their fast repairs, getting their fuel for the end of the race. We should be open. And I did notice that there's no Stevie Ray, so we didn't get the official opening of pit lane for the pit window. And so we'll say those are the first of this entire field to be coming in.
Right. Try and bring some carb at this moment in the stage of the race. Surely. So Castro leads by 3/10 of a second over Dantas. Green again dropping off. Tabino now going for the move on Marnie. Changing class position, but we'll change an overall position. We've got Jason Perry. He's having a great race. He's up into 4th. A little pocket of space by himself. Tabino, lock up on the brakes there from Kabanka. Trying to inflict a bit more insult. It's a misery onto Marnie, who leaves that place to Tabino. So Marnie, your leader in Masters, 6th overall. Kabanka, 7th. Then Pellegrini just behind him in this group. Then we've got Trenton Kramer still leading Spec 2. So let's look at those podiums for those classes. So Masters, it's Marnie is 6th, Brewster 2nd in class, 13th overall. Then it is Chris Murakami, who's 20th, but he's down 9 spots into that in the last podium place. As for Spec 2, as we mentioned, Kramer leading, Phil Berry continuing his rich vein of Spec 2 form on. Of course, winner last time out at New Hampshire, no less. Right on board with him right now in the Triple Eight machine. Good morning to you, Phil Berry, who's Simpkins. This was going to be Jusovic, apologies. It's 3rd in class, just behind them.
Yeah, and since we've got a good shot there of Jim Brewster, we'll give the hello to Jim's sister Tam in Argentina if she's watching. So it seems like she does watch these races quite a bit when he's out there on track. So we'll say a nice hello to her.
Yes, he's on an absolute cracker. So Dan Wood into the pits. That's very early on. 15, well, just shy of 16 minutes. He's going to come in from 9th place, I think he was. Let's play that following me in too. There's no damage on the Mexican's car that I can see there, Charles. So that strikes to me as a little bit tactical.
Yeah,
but
I think you're right.
It's, I mean, where's it going to come out? I mean, surely it's going to come out. It's a whole host of traffic, of slower cars. Would he have been better off staying where he is and the same with Plaver?
Well, you know, that's the one thing that we're going to find out, is you just don't know. I think Pleva, obviously, I think he had damage, so it was probably a good idea for him to come in as early as he could. But yeah, it's just one of those that you're going to come back out in traffic, and it's just a matter of how well you can navigate it. Obviously, if you're behind all this traffic, if you can get some good tow off the cars and kind of leapfrog back up, you can set some pretty good lap times. Now, I don't know if it's enough to pick up a position or two once the pit cycle's done, but that is what he's going to try and do, and we'll see if it works out.
Well, there's one picked up instantly. That's Stephen Healy. He's made his way past. I mean, maybe could well be using SDK Gaming. That's accurate live timing on software on iRacing, and also shows where you will come out when you pit. So maybe putting a bit of tactics there.
Yeah,
maybe brilliant software.
I will say that it works well, because I am a user as well, and we used it yesterday during an iRacing special event, and it works beautifully for that.
It was the back first 12 hours, no less.
Yep.
The official broadcast run by Redline as well.
Imagine that.
Wow. You know, and talking about, well, ironically, due to Castro's former teammate, and we've seen him as well here in the SRF Weekend Warriors quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now drives for them. So it just goes to show, you know, from these also Jamie Fluke of Apex Racing Team used to race in the SRF Weekend Warriors too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the breeding ground for these top talents. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's Matt's pressing, and talking with another Brazilian. Flavio and Darlo leads this group. Then it's Barry, Brewster, Yusovic, Simpkins. They got Bradford Gould? No, they haven't quite got him on the back of this group, I don't think. As it is currently, still Bradford Gould second in the Tony Gasper's award. 24 places climbed for him. Veranik up 26. iRacing official splits that don't even have 26 cars. Oh, has he dropped? Yes, he's dropped a few places. There's a big plume of smoke there. Wow, my spidey senses are tingling and saying that's a lock up there. That's maybe just carrying him on. Oh, here comes Kabanka in as well.
Oh, okay. All right, so another early, I would say this is an early stop with 19 minutes into the race. You know, normally these most of the cars are going to take it to the bitter end, so somewhere around that 30-minute mark. So I think this is another strategy call. We'll see. This is another piece of evidence to see how this is going to work.
I'd noticed Sully tonight, so he can't make the hat trick of wins in Spec 1. And overall, of course, picking up the victories at Road America and New Hampshire in the last 2 rounds. So we're going to see a different winner this evening. And it's very nice. Looking like Castro, who'd, before Nicelli went on that 2-round winning streak, they picked up the previous 3 wins to Belle Isle, Tsukuba, Willow Springs, no less. So looking to make it 4 wins for the season. Of course, Castro, he was caught up in a fight for the victory last time out at New Hampshire on the Roval. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do this evening. But he's got 100 Dantas. He's starting to pull out a gap on him. 1.8 seconds now, the advantage the Brazilian has over his fellow countryman.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, I think, for Dantas to try and make that gap up. Dudu seems like he's got good form today. He's looking really racy and setting some really, really good lap times. So it's going to be tough. Obviously, hitting that inside curb is not going to help your lap time. It just it just unsettles the car too much. So yeah, really the battles, I think we've got a nice little battle from 4th to 6th with Perry, Tabino, and Monty. And then the real battle starts about P10 with Andalo back about 6 or 7 cars, big train there.
Yes, it's no on the trains. Montgomery heading to pit road. Just negating one. Oh, what are the back markers there? That was Bob Kern trying to keep out of everyone's way. But Simpkins nearly tripping up over him. In fact, Jusevic as well, too, to boot. But they all made it through safely. They'll live to fight another day as we head into the second half of the race.
Got some more takers on pit road: Montgomery, Favini, and McCain.
Payne into Bradshaw as well. In terms of retirements so far, only the 5. Telka on lap 7, Pinero lap 6, Beretta lap 3, Brame on lap 2, and Felipe Svechnev on the opening lap. Of course, Michael Nelson did not make the start. Right, here we go. Second half of the race.
Yep.
What are we gonna see here? What are we going to see here? I mean, we've had it in abundance in the first half. I mean, surely it can't be as drama-filled as we've had at that first half.
Well, you say that, and then I'm looking at the timing and scoring, and Dantas has got that gap down to about a second. So he is starting to make up that gap up to Castro. And if Green can make up that a little bit of time as well, we know he's going to be short pitting it and making that pit stop as short as he can make it. So we may have a nice 3-car battle for the race win, or we may, it didn't work out the last time in the Formula 4. So let's see if it will for the spec racers.
So Christian Kabanki, highest driver who has pitted so far. He's come out in 23rd place, Charles, with a bang average pit time compared to what we've seen from everyone else around them. There he is, coming up on a bit. Well, he's coming up on that gaggle. That's Vaccaro, Cantor, Jackson, Love, and Justice. Justice just ahead of them, so not too far within the shell. So it's Gardini. Is that the second stop for him?
Yes, it is. Yep, just check time and score. It is a second stop. I think that's just a fast repair. Yep, I think it's just a fast repair.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it was a drive-through potentially for him, but no, it wasn't. There comes Jacobson, another driver who's...
No, that's not...
that is a first-time pit.
Sorry, just kind of stepped on you there. But no, that's it looks like Gardini's out. Looks like he's pitted and he's retiring from the race.
Oh, that's gutting, because he was on a good run. He's had a cracking season as well. A shame for the Swiss driver, 1 or 2 in the field. Phil Berry, it's time to head into pits now. Right, he's come in from a real juicy battle, hasn't he? He's in that Brewster, Simpkins, Jusevic, and Darlow. That little gaggle around there, isn't he?
Yeah, that might be a good call. You get into those big packs like that, and sometimes just getting a little bit of clean air for yourself for a couple of laps will just, nothing else, just settles you down, lets you kind of focus more on the track than all the cars that you're fighting with.
So there is part of that, battles that we're seeing. Kabanka going to work. That's Vaccaro picked up. I tried to get a bit of a 2-for-1 deal there. Running into the Andretti hairpin. Can't quite do it though, just has to sell for the 1 in the form of Vaccaro though. Jackson won't be too far off. Berry heads out. Where does he come out? Well, just in front of Gianni Longin, who's one of the lowest drivers who is yet to pit so far. Gradwell, excuse me, just heading out the pits. So is Andrew Love. And taking their stop. And we're not far off, are we? I mean, look, we were 25 minutes. Well, there you go. Castro's in from the lead.
Yep. I was just about to say, yeah, we're only about a couple of laps from everybody having to pit. So Castro says this is as good a time as any. So he's in now.
Damage to that front left as well there. So has that been hampering him at all? I do have to wonder. I mean, it's one of the tracks where you can probably get away with it a little bit more than other tracks, shall we say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's just there's a couple of good drafting areas here, but it's not necessarily a draft track. And so, yeah, that probably was just probably not hurting him too bad, unless he's got a little bit of steering damage because that was a kind of a left front hit. So, go ahead and get that cleaned up, get his fuel, and back out on the track.
So where does he come out? He's going to come out. Is he just in front of them? Yes, he is. So that is crucial because they were battling. That's in front of Bradford Gould and Flavio and Darlow. So that's a nice little pocket because he's got 3.9 seconds to Arnis Jusovic ahead of him on the road. So Castro got time to try and make up a bit of time now. He's got a bit of target, nice target to aim forward to. There goes Dantas, who's just coming up in a bit of traffic there. That slowed him up at all? Jeff Jacobson, I think that's the way he's just passing.
Yeah, I think it cost him about 0.3 of a second coming through the corkscrew. Green was able to make up a little bit of time.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, that really closed up there. So Green being brought back into the fight, but knowing to him plays right into Castro's hand. This part of the Vendanger diagram of dicing with back markers here. Jackson pulls to one side, Green slots his way through. Meanwhile, Kabanka going to work here, trying to get the move done. Oh, beautiful, right round the outside there. That's Jacaro. He'd already passed him, hadn't he?
I think so.
Yes, because it was Jackson who was ahead of them, I think. So Jackson has lost a bit of time. It's, I've just had someone's half spin there. And I wonder if that's Chris Murakami. Because he's showing us he's had a bit of an incident. Actually, no, it's too long goes. Yeah, yes. There you go. Picaro into the pits now.
Get a replay here from Josh coming down into the final corner.
I mean,
just a little bit of, just a half spin. Just carried a little too much speed in there. And we saw that a lot more in the Formula 4s. It's been quite a bit better in the spec racers today. There were several of those litter all over the track. As we see somebody on, is there a car smoking it? Yes, I think that's Naselli from earlier. I think he just sat on pits too long, and the engine exploded.
No, that's Carlos Barreto.
No. Oh, is it Barreto? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So he retired on lap 3.
Yeah.
He's clearly walks off, left the car to it, and that's why it's probably smoking. Dantas still leads proceedings here on minute 28, nearly minute 29. They're starting to run a bit dry now for these drivers, that old fuel tank. Yeah,
I think so. I think this is based on just a rough guess, and I don't know this, but this is probably the last lap for them. I think everybody's going to have to come in at this point. Maybe can go one more if you've been doing some fuel saving, but I think, we're at that 30-minute mark, and that seems to be the limit for these cars with their fuel allotment to start the race.
Into the pits come Andalo, Jackson, Cantor, Voranic. So Castro still obviously the lead car, has pitted so far. He's in 9th overall right now. There goes Voranic, Swedish driver, making his way up through the field. So through pit road even. He's made some real good progress. He has. During this race, and I think he's going to come out like 17 spots, 16, I think maybe 16 up from where he started. So pit stop adjusted. That's not a bad showing indeed. As Dantas and Green. Here we go.
Yep, right at the 30-minute mark of the race. Looks
Harry
like
Amani.
Everybody's coming in. Yep.
Right. So Wes Kramer will be the next one to come on round. Will he come in? Yes, he will. So does Pellegrini. So your top 7 in so far. I imagine Jim Brewster will follow suit too. Also, who's Simpkins and Arnis Jusovic? No, Simpkins goes again.
He did indeed.
Right. That could actually... This could actually be our new leader of the race. There goes Dudu Castro. Right. So how many of these is he going to pass? Where is Dantas? There he is. Well, he's got a bit shorter route to go, but Castro is going to be carrying momentum off the corner. Oh, don't look it up, Evandro. Don't lock it up as he gets off a pit road as quick as possible, but it's not enough. Castro is back in front, but it's only 4/10 the margin. So that has closed up, and Jason Green, 1.2 seconds down the road, and they're all up against who's Simpkins, is your new leader, who is running a very light car, but doesn't quite have the pace of these front runners. But that should be negated by that light car. But Castro's going to have someone to draft off for this lap.
He is indeed. So the whole thing is make up as much time as you can and get by as quickly as possible, because if you wants to fight going into any of these corners, that's just going to bring Dantas and Green right up to this. As we already see Dantas looking to the inside.
Look how much time Castro's able to capitalize there through the corkscrew. He has a good look at Simpkins, but Simpkins could be in trouble because he's surely got to pit this lap. He needs to get back across to the left-hand side of the track to get in. And there he goes. Oh, wow, that could have ended up very, very messy for everyone involved, but we will live to find another tale. Bradford Gould, he pits late too. He's just come in as well. And Jason Green is brought back into the fight. 1 second. But under that, 8/10 in fact, he covers our top 3. Here we go.
Yeah, that absolutely everything. You did everything he could. He knew he had to be on the left side of the track there to have entry into the pits. Otherwise, these guys weren't going to wait for him to move over. They were just going to keep going, and he might have missed the entry and then ran out of fuel. So, great job by everybody to just keep everything clean. You got over to the left, the other guys got over to the right, and so now we've got us a nice little 3-car pack up front.
I spotted there as they came through turn 4, Dantas just looking a little bit skatey, a little bit squirrely mid-corner, understeer, oversteer, understeer, oversteer, but kept it all composed. But what's Castro? Oh, that seemed a little bit of too much of a late apex there for him. Even actually probably more of an early apex. He had to lift on exit. We look back from the Brazilian. There's our fellow countryman Dantas and Jason Green. Top 3 covered by under a second. There's the throttle heading down the hill. I mean, this, I think it's maybe not quite at the time of getting a coin out to decide this one and doing it on a coin toss, but I got a feeling we're not that far away from it, and I still feel there's fireworks to be had amongst these 3.
Yeah, I just want to see what kind of run Dantas. It was 3.5 tenths coming out of the final corner. See what the gap is when they get down into the braking zone for turn 1.
So he backs out of it. It did.
He did, and it looked like he was gaining about 2 tenths on the front straight. So that's going to play interesting if he can keep it tight on that last lap. It may be a run to the line to see who's going to win this race.
That's what we like. That's what we love. Right. Keep you updated on the other classes. Masters, Marnie leads that. He's 6th overall. 2nd is Antonio Race. 3rd, Jim Brewster. He's 16th. Race is 11th overall. So they're not too close together. Spec 2, Bill Berry leads that one. He is 3/10 ahead of... Or is he? Hold on. Yes, he is. About 3/10 ahead of you Simpkins, who's 2nd in class. 12th and 13th respectively for those 2. So that's still going down to the wire. 3rd place in class, that's Arnis Jusovic. He is 17th overall, but he's a few seconds down the road from these guys. Had a few cars in between them to boot to on board with Simpkins, the Dutchman. Well, it's Holland versus Australia here for 12th place, and that win in Spec 2. But Berry's got a bit of form and skin in this game, hasn't he? So, I mean, he won last time out in New Hampshire, never say never, whereas Simpkins, he was our winner 3 rounds ago at Belle Isle.
Yeah, so obviously these guys know what it takes to win their class. I'm just kind of was looking down to see Kramer down in 24th overall. just not really sure what happened. I know his pit stop cost him a few seconds because it was a little bit longer than everybody else's in and around his class. But it's interesting to see him fall back that much because he was running close to the edge of the top 5.
Well, he Josh said he had a bit of an incident, and Bradford Gould heading in for his second pit stop of the day. That's getting for him. So he was running strongly. Hugo Vranic still holding on to the Andres Bertoni award for the highest climber, due to largely just Gould there dropping down through the order. Spodka down pit road as well. He had stopped much earlier on. Yes, he has. That's the second stop of the day. Jason Perry's got Yardabino hot on his heels. Here we go. Up the hill. Onto the brakes. He still remains ahead with this Labret.
Yeah, these guys are still battling hard because they're not really in contention for a race win, but you get a top 5 in this race in a class, you've done something. There's some really, really good drivers in here, as we talk about week in and week out. So if you can scramble a top 5, you've had a pretty good day, and both these guys are running right in there, and they're seeing who's going to come out 4th place out of this before it's all over.
And that's going to scrap all the way down to turn 1 proper. That is the Andretti hairpin. It's the brakes. Looking for the over rev. Sends in, lunges around the outsides, looks for the cutback. But Perry's a wily old fox. He's been there. He's seen it. He's got the t-shirt. He covers it off. He kills off the momentum to Tabino. So that is, let's play the down pit road. That's second stop of the day for Cheshire driver.
Yeah, some of these drivers are not having really good days. They have to come in and take that second stop, maybe take their fast repair, get back out on the track.
What's that, a drive-through?
A drive-through, yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. It looks like a drive-through. I think, if I remember correctly, I think the incident limit was 12. Or was that for?
It's a lot lower. It's a lot lower.
12. Yes, 12x. So drive-through at 12, DQ at 18.
If you're caught up in that earlier incident, picked up a 4x there, or maybe even an 8x, it doesn't take much, does it? Really does not take much to accumulate those points. It's Murakami there, getting past Favini. That is for 17th place. So, Simpkins and Berry still very, very close to one another. So are Castro, Dantas and Green. So Spec 1 and Spec 2 are going to come right down to the wire here. And how long have we got left on the clock? 1 minute, 20 seconds. There's our lead group. Well, this is going to be... Did they take white flag? It would be very close. No, I don't think they will have done. Now, this then asks the question, who's got enough fuel in their car?
Well, sitting here looking at the timing and scoring, they all took roughly the same amount. I think there was a 1 second gap between Green, who did a 10:57, and Castro, who did an 11:52. Now, of course, Castro stopped a lap earlier, or a couple of laps earlier, I believe. So they should all roughly have about the same amount of fuel. So I think if one of them got it right, they all got it right. If they all got it wrong, then we've got a lot more to talk about for the last lap of the race.
All we have. Although, I think they could be... they've got 30 seconds. This is going to be very, very, very close, isn't it? 20 seconds left on the clock to get round. I'm not sure on this one, Charles. I'm really not sure. I don't think they're going to make it, and I think they could well have been on the white flag. We'll get confirmation here as they exit the final corner. What's Barney waving? Keep your eyes peeled to the left in the way that he is going this.
White to me.
It is indeed. There we go. Right, so with a second to spare. Wow, who has got enough fuel then? Ooh. Barney jumps to the pit, so he clearly did not have enough fuel on board.
Ooh. Okay. What?
Right. Is that going to cost him? Oh, hold on. Is that just a drive-through? That looks like a drive-through to me.
Yep, that is a drive-through. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's exactly what it was. So, Monty, we talked to him after the first race, and he said him and this track just don't get along. So obviously he was getting a few off tracks here and there. He might have had some contact during the course of the race, so he's hit
Charles,
the penalty as well.
Simpkins has passed Berry for the lead in Spec 2. Well, I can tell you they're pretty much still side by side as our lead group make their way up the hill for the final time. It's all on the line here at Laguna Seca as they drop down through the corkscrew to send their way through. They compress up even further. It is nearly half a second covering our top three. Is this going to be a run to the line? Dive onto the brakes. Penultimate corner. They've one long line. Castro's got no one in front of him to slipstream off. He's going to be vulnerable. Here comes Green. He's closed it right up. It's under half a second between the three of them. It's the run to the line. Who's got the best exit? I think Castro could be okay, but Dantas could be vulnerable, but no, he holds on to it.
Wow, it was close.
Wow. Right, Berry and Simpkins. What's happening between them? West and Kabanka, they're close for the line. Berry is back ahead of Simpkins, so he's got it done. Crucially, as they've come through the penultimate corner, there goes Danwood across the line to finish 7th. Marnie, he's going to finish 9th. Keep your eyes peeled to the background, though. I think Berry's going to have done enough here.
Yep, Berry's got it. Great last lap, I'm sure. Between those two, they're swapping positions for that class lead.
Yes, I mean, if Josh could find the pictures, I'd love to see that lovely little battle that they were having at one stage where they were swapping around. There we go, he's working on it already. Of course he is. Right, wow, there you go. Straight to it. No messing around. Oh, there we go. So that's through the Andretti hairpin. So Simpkins up the inside there on Berry, but that's going to give Berry the inside line. Oh, that was close. Wow. And they're still not done. Oh, wow. Simpkins went to turn in, but Berry had got his car there to create a roadblock. And that was the move. Or was it? Yeah, Simpkins just had no answer from that point onwards against Berry. That was the move for the win in Spec 2.
There we go. Great battle. Great last lap battle. Love to see that. Right.
So, Justovic, who's third in Spec 2. Great run for the Latvian. Who else have we got? So, Masters, that was Marnie, Race, and Brewster, your top three there. As well, on the stage, I'm sure we can. I think everyone across the line should be able to bring up some classified results here from Watkins Glen, right country. It's very wrong track.
Yeah, right country, wrong area, wrong side of it.
Yes, that's one way to offend the locals, isn't it? So this is how they start. Because Panero, he started on pole. But little did we know, it was going to be drama-filled and not end anything like that. Castro with the victory. But now making his fourth win of the season. After a two-round hiatus, in Selly tonight. Then it was Dantas in second to return to the podium for him, seen on the podium since Tsukuba in round 5. Green, now again, another one. Can't quite go one better. Second last time out, third the week prior. Pattern say should have won today, but he was only good enough for third. West in fourth. The Cabanca Pellegrini Wood. Marnie with that win. Continuing his dominance of Masters. Both in the 4x4s and here in the SRFs this season. Phil Berry, your winner in Spec 2, just beating Hugh Simpkins in the final lap flurry of activity. Antonio Race second in Masters. Jusovic running out that podium in Spec 2 with Brewster running out the podium. 13th overall in Masters. Then we had Cathcart, Murakami, Favini, Montgomery, Varanik, who picked up the Gaspers Bertoni Award for the most positions game. He was at 24 into 19th. 20th was into 18th, apologies. So actually, no, that's going to be one more. He's showing us 19th man, so that would have been 25 gain for him. So as Kramer finishes 19th, Tabino running at top 20. Now he's had a penalty late on, so because he crossed the line in 8th.
I think that he actually came in the pits on the last lap for a drive-through, which obviously you can't do. So 40-second penalty on that.
Yeah. Would have been better staying on the track. Would have had so much of a penalty then. Never mind, never mind. McCain 21st is Vaccaro. Healy, Vincent, Gradwell, Cantor, Love, Gould. 28th, and then we've got Jackson and Jacobson to round out your top 30. Emerson, Justice, Warbolt, and Darno Long in the last driver on the lead lap. He was in 35th position. 36th was Jason Perry. It was a shame because he was having a great race early on. So he's finished one lap down. So was Plaver on Horniak. 2 laps down was Bob Kern. Into retirements, 40th classified was Joseph Tarantino. Lost on lap 16. Gardine lap 14. Bradshaw lap 12. So was Scott Russell and David Payne. Chris Thorpe and Vaglini on lap 11. Lap 7 was Talca. Pinero lap 6. Pareto lap 3. Lap 2 for Brain. And Spetronit was on the opening lap with Michael Nelson not making the start. Let's have a chat to some of our drivers, shall we? And first off, we've got a winner here today, Dudu Castro. Well, I mean, nearly fireworks and disaster when you came to blow down at the Andretti hairpin with Marco Pinero, but just got away with it this time, I think, Dudu.
Yeah, it was a crazy first lap. I've got 8x from Marco getting together with Marco on the first lap, so I passed my whole race managing my incidents, not to get in a drive-through. I really didn't understood some Marco's movement. I think he lost his car on the corkscrew, then he went slow a bit. Then I hit his back. Then he just dove inside on the Andretti hairpin. I just understood too. But well, today was better than last week, and almost got the same thing. Last weekend, I had a lap car or a slower car in front of me. Had an issue and lost the race. Today, I had the same thing. I got like a 3 seconds gap, and the lap car just make me wasting time. So I was afraid of this race. This is not my favorite track. I'm not fast enough here. So this result for me, it's much more than I was expecting.
Man who claims he's not fast enough around this track, but yet claimed a victory. There you go. I mean, it was very close. White flag. We were watching it on the counter at our end. The clock. It came out after the 40-minute mark. Were you a bit worried about fuel? Had you got enough in reserve, or you okay? I mean, you would have been in the same boat as both Dantas and Green behind you because you all had identical, stationary times in the pit box. But were you okay on fuel on that final lap, or were you a little bit worried about it?
No, I was okay. I've ended with 0.4, so I think I had a little margin. I was completely desperate about the incidents. I was afraid to get more incidents and get a drive-through. So I had already 9. So if I had another touch, I would need to go to the pit lane. So that's what made me slow down a little bit and trying to manage it and be safe and fast at the same time. It's not easy always, but it was good. It was good. I think it was good for me for the championship. Last week wasn't the best, but this week everything went well. I'm really glad what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps your streak of finishing on the podium stretches all the way back to round 5. Well, round 3 technically, because we had the Christmas break at Oran Park. Sonoma next week, final round of the championship. Feeling a bit more confident about that one, or not so much?
I don't know. I never drove this full circuit. I just drove the other layout. It's a layout that I like, the one that I know. But I remember when we used to race on the officials, I couldn't catch Gaspers. Gaspers he was much faster than I was there. So I hope I can find some set or finding some some speed over there and keep this momentum and do a next good weekend too.
Definitely. Good luck for that one. Your winner here today, Dudu Castro.
Thank you, sir.
Charles, master to another? A Jim Rooster for you.
Yeah, talk to Jim. So P3 in class, P14 overall. Looked like you were in a pretty tight battle for the entire race.
Yeah, me and Flavio and Juiced and a few of us, especially me and Flavio, I think passed each other 3 times. Hey, I'm talking to you on a Sunday again, man.
Yeah, how about that? We've started a trend here. We're going to start keeping this up.
I got to thank Chris Montgomery. Gave me a heck of a ride through qualifying. That's what got me that great qualifying run. And I got to thank a couple people that I never thank. My wife, who puts up with this insane lifestyle of racing, every single weekend, every week, every practice. And my son Luke is my crew chief. He keeps my computers and software running because I sure wouldn't know how to do that. So, I got to say hi to Tam, but those guys are a big part of my racing life too.
Well, there you go. Well, we said hi to Tam earlier because we had you on screen, so
Yes,
we had to say hello.
Oh, believe me, she was pumped. She said thank you. Believe me, she was thrilled.
Anybody that can sit and listen to us chatter about this for an hour deserves to be recognized on the broadcast.
And I haven't thanked Stevie in a while. And I got to tell you, we got something new. As V guys, we're getting together on Friday nights and we do a casual practice session. We do an open practice and we just all get together and draft like crazy. But this community is so big and there's so many people and they're so friendly. And I just got to think, Stevie is the one that somehow has attracted all these people. And we had 32 Vs yesterday in our Saturday race. So we're just growing and people are happy and having fun.
Well, there you go. All right, Jim, congratulations, and we'll hope maybe we'll talk to you again on Tuesday for the runoffs.
Yeah. Go congratulate Phil. He got a big win.
There you go.
See you guys later.
Yep.
And on that note, what better way to start his Monday morning than with a victory here in the SRF Weekend Warriors? Phil Berry, congratulations. See, there you go.
Hello, Phil.
He's not muted. He's just clearly rendered speechless by his victory. I would attempt to do an appalling Australian accent in response about how happy he was. But I know we're speaking to Phil and Brad Cathcart as well. A few of the Weekend Warriors do message me during the week, and
maybe he's getting a cup of coffee. Waiting on us.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Phil, can you hear us now?
Yep. Sorry. I had the wheel turned off with the button push.
Oh, there you go. It's always something simple, but congratulations! What better way to start your week on a Monday morning with a victory here today?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant, and I think it's my first top 10 in the series as well. So I'm really happy with that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I didn't. Do you know? I didn't even spot that. Yeah, just creeping inside the top 10 there. 9 position gains overall. I mean, this back end of the season, it seems to be hitting a bit of a real good vein of form. Back-to-back wins. You won last week at New Hampshire as well. You're going to make the hat trick next week at Sonoma.
Well, I've never raced that much at Sonoma, so we'll hold judgment on that one. But it would be nice to take the last race as well.
And yeah, as I say, you have to get up early on a Monday morning to come and race here. Just what sort of time are you getting up on a Monday morning to come and race here in the SRF Weekend Warriors?
I get up at 5:30 and wait for the session to start. Do the practice. Practice is always good. And then most times I get Mondays off. Depending on what my roster is, sometimes I've got to go to work after this.
Well, if you off to work shortly this week, or you got the day off?
No, luckily I got the day off.
Well, there you go. What better way, go sit outside, have a nice barbecue and celebrate your victory here today. But I mean, you didn't have it easy. I mean, that last lap battle, we went back and watched it again between yourself and Eust. I mean, it must have been a bit of squeaky bum time for yourself on that last lap when Eust was really giving you a hard time.
He was there. He was gaining on me, and then I'd get a little bit back, and then he'd pull back on me. But that going into the into the hairpin on that last lap, I locked the brake and went wide, and it's like, oh no, he's got past me, and I managed to hold it.
We're just seeing a slow motion of it now, and yeah, it was absolute nip and tuck every step of the way. I mean, next week, I mean, it's going to be a tough one for you, but how are you feeling about it? You know, you feel like a good finish to the end of the season?
I'll be giving it my all. I mean, I don't mind Sonoma. It's a different layout to what we usually run. It's the Cup layout, so it'll be a little bit harder. You come down halfway down the hill and you turn right to the infield. So yeah, I'll be giving it a all I can.
Definitely. Well, good luck for that one, Phil, and have a great week ahead of you. That's Phil Berry, your winner here today in Spec 2. But well, that is all we have got time for here today. As we seem to end up running well into overtime. Thank you very much for joining us. That's all we've got time for WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We'll see you in a week's time. We head to Sonoma, the season finale. I've been Tim Cox with Charles Michelle and Josh Wilkie. We'll see you then. As always, here at Apex Racing TV. Goodbye.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.